to be showing you the steps to install WordPress on your local machine that's running Windows 11. So for this particular process, you would need two programs. The first is XAMPP. You need to download this from the Google. And the other one is WordPress. Again, we can Google this thing and download that. So I'm going to walk you through the whole process, and I'm going to be following these steps 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So this way you will be able to see how exactly I did this thing. Alright, so first we're going to install XAMPP. Alright, let's open up your Google browser. I have it right there. Okay, and oops, let me delete these files. Oh, cancel. Okay. All right. So let's type XAMPP, enter, and click on this XAMPP installers and downloads. So when you click on this thing, you will get, oh, by the way, in XAMPP, A stands for Apache, M stands for MariaDB, which is another name for MySQL, and this P and P stands for PHP, and the other one is other P is for Perl. So since I'm running Windows, I'll be downloading XAMPP for Windows. Click on this. Alright, so once you downloaded this, let's see what's the next step. Okay, then next step is install XAMPP. Now the way you install XAMPP is that it's going to get downloaded somewhere, and that for me it got downloaded over here, XAMPP Windows, and this is the file right there. So I'm going to install this thing. You install this thing by double clicking on this XAMPP, and it's going to ask you a series of questions. Click say yes. Alright, now it says welcome to XAMPP. Important. Now this is basically giving me a warning that hey, because an user activated user account control is activated in your system, so it's possible that XAMPP are possibly restricted, and so on and so forth. I just hit OK. Alright, so this is your setup wizard. Welcome to XAMPP setup wizard. Click next. Alright, now Apache is gonna be in there by default. I want MySQL, I want we'll just keep everything default, just keep everything checked. Click next. Okay, this is the folder is gonna be getting downloaded, C/XAMPP. Make sure you remember this, and I wrote right there, use default option, install it in C/XAMPP folder, etc. Alright. Okay, so now it's gonna ask you the folder name. Okay, so this is where I want to install in my XAMPP. As you can see, I wrote this over here. Click on next, and language is English. Next. Setup is now ready to begin installing XAMPP on your machine, on your computer I mean, and just wait for it. It can take some time, so just have patience. Welcome back. So now you get this message. Oh, by the way, just want to give you a little heads up. So before I get this message, it also gave me a message saying that are you sure that you want to install Apache, because it's going to give everybody public and private access. So you want to say yes to that. Okay, so after this installation is done, do you want to start the control panel now? Just check this box and hit finish. Alright, and then now let's look at the next step. Okay, in the next step it tells you type XAMPP in start and open the app. Now in this particular case we don't really have to open the app, because as you notice I had checked one of the box, so that basically allowed this XAMPP to open up automatically as soon as I click the finish button. Okay, now start Apache and start MySQL. Alright, so this is your Apache right there. Start, click on the start. Okay, you see a green button, that means it has stopped. Likewise, start your MySQL, click on start, and you see a green. Okay, do you want to allow public and private networks to access this app? Say allow. Alright, okay. Next step, click on admin of MySQL. So on MySQL you'll see this admin page. Click on this, and then you will create a new database, and we're gonna call that new database as my WordPress. Alright, so let's click on admin, and it opens up your web browser and this local host. Okay, we're gonna create a new database. It's right there, new. You can actually create new database by going to database over here and hit a new database, or you can click from here, or you can create from here. So let's do from this option. Click on new, and it takes you to this create database. Okay, so let's call the database name as my WordPress. So my WordPress. All right, click on create. and there you go. You will see my WordPress right there. So that tells you that it was successfully created my WordPress database. Alright, next step, let's see, let's go to our PowerPoint again. Okay, it says now we're gonna download WordPress. Alright, so let's go back to our browser, and we can leave this thing as it is now. Alright, let's minimize this. Okay, and open up your browser. Actually, oops, sorry. Okay, now we're gonna download WordPress. So type WordPress, click enter, and we're gonna download WordPress from wordpress.org. Let's go over there, and I downloaded WordPress for Windows. Alright, so you click on this thing, and that's gonna download your WordPress. So I have already done this part, so this actually is downloaded. Let me just show you where it's in my download directory, and there it is, WordPress 6.4.3 zip file. Okay, so assuming you have done this now, what you want to do after this is you want to unzip your WordPress.zip by using extract all tool, and make sure you note down the location of the unzipped WordPress folder. Alright, so let's go over there, let's extract this, extract all, and files will be extracted to this folder. So it's going to extract in your downloads folder, and it will be called WordPress 6.4.3. Alright, extract, and just wait. You will see your WordPress installed in your download directory, and let's see, and this is the folder that gets created when you extract this folder, when you extract this zip file. Alright, let's see what's the next step. Okay, oops. The next step is we download, unzip this thing, download the location. Okay, now cut the above folder of WordPress and paste it inside this directory. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to let's see, let's double click this. Okay, you wanna cut this, and you wanna go to your, which folder would that be? Let's see, that would be XAMPP HT docs. So go to this PC, go to C, go to XAMPP directory, and there should be HT docs right there, and you want to paste this over here. Okay, let me move this over here so you can see, and make it a little smaller. Alright, so paste it over here. Oops, right there. Okay, so you paste your WordPress folder over here. Now in the browser, type localhost /WordPress. So let's open up our local browser on Chrome. So I'm at Chrome over here. Let's expand the screen so you can see, and let's go to, actually let's just go to over here, type localhost and then WordPress, hit enter, and you're gonna come across this page. Alright, let's see what's the next step. So in the browser, type localhost WordPress, choose language equals English, database equals my WordPress, username root, and password is leave blank. Alright, so let's follow this step right here. Okay, so let's go to browser. So I'm going to choose the language as English, continue. Then it's going to ask me, okay, welcome to WordPress, and before it gets started, it's telling me that it's going to need the database name, it's going to need database username, password, host, and table prefix, so and so forth. You can read this information. Alright, let's go. Alright, database name, so I'm going to be using my WordPress. You can call it whatever you want to, whichever site you're designing. You want to call this database, you want to use the convention that's easy for you to remember. Okay, so my WordPress username, I'm going to call it root. Password, if you remember, I had left it blank. Now rest of the stuff is database host, local host, leave it as a default, and table prefix WP underscore, leave it as default. Alright, submit and run the installations. Alright, and wait for it. It takes some time. Now let's see. Okay, there you go. Okay, now let's see what's the next step is. Okay, click submit and then run the installation. We did this part. Now it's going to ask you for site title. So site title is, I'm giving it like my title is my first WordPress. Okay, username, I'm gonna call it root. Password, I'm gonna use it as root. Email, whatever you wanna call it. You don't have, I mean, just enter any, something at gmail.com. All right, so let's follow this step. Let's go to right there, site title, call it right there, actually is right there, my first WordPress site. Username is root, so type root. Password, I'm gonna call it root. Just keep it simple, and confirm use of weak passwords. Root is a very weak password, but this is for a local purpose, so I can get away by using a weak password. Okay, email, so you can use let's see, call it ash@gmail.com, or whatever you want to. Instead of saying ash, let's call it hhh. Alright, it's a dummy email, doesn't really matter. And that should, so install WordPress. Check box, I would check this particular box. Okay, install WordPress after this, and wait for some time. Alright, so WordPress has been successfully installed. Thank you and enjoy. Alright, this is what you want to see, success. Now you want to click on the login button, but let's see if it says in the instruction. Okay, choose language within, then click submit. We did this part. Then run installation, we did this part, and then click install WordPress, we did this. Click login. Okay, this is where we at right now. Click login, and our username is root, our password is root. If you recall, we enter our username is root, and right there we enter our username was root and our password was root. So whatever username and password you used over here, you'll be using the same username and same password over here. All right. Let's go over here, login, type your username, which is root. Your password, if you recall, I use root, and if you want, you can type remember me, so this way you don't have to keep retyping your password. Alright, login, wait for it, and wait for it, and there you go. Alright, welcome to WordPress. Now you can see your site. So if you click on my first WordPress site, and if you recall, I typed my first WordPress site, and that's the message that it comes over here. Now you can play around, and I assume that you know how to create sites using WordPress, because from here it's easy. If you don't know, then you can actually find some good videos on how to create WordPress site, or you can subscribe to my channel or write to me and I can show you how to create WordPress sites. Alright, thank you and enjoy.